Before humans had launched satellites into space, the idea of deploying weapons in space had already begun. During World War II, scientists proposed the idea of assembling a huge mirror in space to use reflection to focus sunlight and burn ground targets. As satellite technology matured, its military functions also grew. Most commonly, satellites appeared in the form of reconnaissance and communication satellites. However, the idea of using satellites or space stations as weapon platforms did exist, and at least some countries have made related attempts. The Rods from God is a very mysterious satellite weapon system, believed to be a secret equipment developed by the United States in the last century. It is important to note that this weapon has never received official formal recognition. However, based on information provided in many details, many people believe it does exist, at least having undergone related technical research, but most likely not reaching the stage of practical application. How to quickly and efficiently strike the enemy has always been a headache for all countries. The emergence of missiles solved this problem, but missiles themselves are expensive. If one were to attack a target on the other side of the Earth, using expensive intercontinental missiles to launch a conventional warhead over there would be unbearable for any country. In comparison, artificial satellites have much faster and more practical flight speeds, reaching speeds of thousands of meters per second, quickly completing orbits around the Earth. For example, the Sputnik 1 satellite completed an orbit around the Earth in just 114 minutes. If an offensive weapon were to be paired with a satellite, the attack ammunition could be launched from the sky to the ground using the satellite's high speed to quickly reach a specific area, then launch an attack on the target, greatly increasing combat efficiency. The Rods from God is such a weapon. The name is just an unofficial name of unknown origin. If such a weapon really exists, the outside world does not even know its real name or designation. So how does the Rods from God work? It is actually a satellite-based weapon system with targeting and communication equipment, allowing combat personnel to control the satellite to find the target. Its weapon is a rod-shaped structure, but the ammunition used is a tungsten rod with a length of about 20 feet and a diameter of about 1 foot. Once the satellite receives the command, it will arrive in the target area under the control of the Operational Command Department, using its own equipment to detect the target, and then launch a tungsten rod. It will rush towards the target at a speed similar to a meteor, creating destruction similar to an asteroid impact. With its high density, the tungsten rod can even penetrate deep into the ground to attack underground targets. By systematically deploying this type of attack satellite, theoretically, from identifying the target to implementing the action until the target is destroyed, this process may not exceed 1 hour, and the ammunition used can be replenished by other specialized satellites. Of course, this also involves satellite docking and other technologies. After all is said and done, this is all theoretical. In reality, the situation is not so ideal. Not to mention how to transport the tungsten rods into space. In the attack phase, targeting is also a major problem. Because the satellite speed is too fast, the attack action only lasts for a moment. Otherwise, angular deviation may cause the impact point to deviate by hundreds or thousands of kilometers. In addition, the tungsten rod will continuously rub against the atmosphere during flight, and even with a heat-resistant coating, it will not be able to withstand such high speeds and will burn out before reaching the ground. In daily maintenance and use, this weapon is still very inconvenient. Like most satellites, once a malfunction occurs, it is equivalent to being scrapped. Unlike the relatively simple structure of most satellites, the Rods from God structure is much more complex, with more moving parts, increasing the probability of malfunctions.